Hello and welcome. Today for this demo, I'm going to show you the compliance tab and the compliance features that Pronto offer. So the first prerequisite that I must make clear is that we have to actually enable this toggle in settings so it shows up in the sidebar. So as always, go to the left, go to the sidebar, hit settings. Then under settings, you'll see at the very bottom, governance and compliance module. You just enable both of these two toggles, and then once you do, you'll see if you go home that the compliance option will now be there. So what is governance and compliance? It's essentially one screen that answers, are all of my communication channels compliant? So you can discover every channel and sender here. You can assign each a compliance plus a risk level. It ties in compression and opt-out lists, and you can put those suppressors, you can push those suppressors to Twilio's compliance toolkit as opt-out consents, and you can also log every action for audits. So right here on this screen is the overview and toolkit. So this is channel first regulatory inventory. It's not email delivery. So as you can see, these metric cards are all empty at the moment, but if you go up here and click sync from channels, you'll see that it says inventory sync completed, and then you'll get a whole compliance tool checklist if there's any issues with any of your channels, and then number of inventory rows, messaging rows, and unknown status. You'll get the whole analysis of all your channels. The second tab here is your number compliance. You can sync from channel again, but we already did that on the previous page. So here we can filter by risk. So you can tab and then apply risk, and then it'll check selected. And then for this channel, for the two-way SMS, it has a low risk, and then it gives you when it's last checked and things like that. And you can also view the payload to show the metadata. And for the messaging tab, it's quite similar to the number compliance, except there are different rows that are on show here. For example, the consent enforcement, suppression enforcement, and a quiet hours policy as well here. So you can do the same. I can test this, test development WhatsApp, check selected, and then it'll say that it is low risk with those 3 extra columns like we saw. Content and suppression. This shows what's suppressed and what's opted out. So we currently have 5 on the suppression list. So if you go to contacts, go to suppression list, you'll see we have 5 contacts that are suppressed. So the next tab is the Twilio toolkit. So here, if I want to test my toolkit, I can put in channel ID 7. This is my dev SMS channel for the moment. And if I put in my sender ID, so I'm going to type that in. Then I click preview suppression and Twilio consents. You will see the preview JSON that shows the exact opt-out consent payload that will be pushed. If I didn't have a dry run, then that would send an actual API call. But I'm going to have that on just so it's not live, but this will give you an example payload. And if you see down here, this is the whole sync history, which is kind of a teaser for later on regarding the audit trail that I'm going to show, but there's a full sync history here of everything that you've done. Speaking of the audit log, every action that you've done on this page will always be recorded. So that's the compliance payoff. It's provable governance. As you saw here, channel checked, it gives you the date and time, when the payload was viewed, when the channel was checked, when everything was completed and started and touched on. It all shows on this page here. Next is the alerts. This is essentially a feed of compliance alerts that should grab the attention of the operator, such as missing configs or high-risk assets. And then finally, there are the adapters. This essentially gives a verdict on a sender. So it's not wired yet. So we're going to use the mock evaluation here. So if you click here, so it's essentially you input one sender and then you output a compliance status. So it does it one at a time rather than all together. So that is the compliance and governance section in Pronto. Thank you for listening.